Ooh, what is up, guys? It's your boy No Risk, No Premium, back with another episode of the market overview, guys. Today, you would have thought the world was actually coming to an end until about an hour and a half until the market closed. We had a Ripper Magoo, how are you, Squeezy Magoo, back to the upside, which honestly felt like everybody had been waiting to happen after this day right here. So we spent one, two, three, the fourth day here, kind of thinking, are we going to get this squeeze bounce, relief bounce? Right. And it finally came. Now, granted, bulls are definitely not in the clear yet. They have their work cut out for them. We'll get to that here in a second. But it was good to see we finally put a hammer in. We could see there's a little bit of volume here on this daily chart on the ES. Right at where? Right at that 43.05. So we knew we were going to be trading around that 43.05 level. If you watch the videos nightly, we didn't think, maybe we'd get this deep in there to bounce it back out. But we were looking at 42.65, which is the bottom of this balance zone to the left. Almost got to it, but we got Squeezy Magoo. We erased all of the gains. I think it was a 50-point move, right? We went 76. I think we got back to 20 or 50-point move to the upside there in a matter of honestly 15, 20, 30 minutes. It wasn't a long time. We erased all of the deficit from this morning and then some. So is this relief rally underway? It could very well be. Let's take a quick look on the docket, what we have for tomorrow, because we always want to know what economic data is coming. We have big data, continuous jobless claims, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we have Q2 GDP. Very, very important number there. That we want to see. So two big data prints, jobless claims and GDP. We do have a plethora of House speakers tomorrow scattered, so try to find a Fed schedule. Jerome Powell comes on at 4 p.m. for a town hall meeting, probably more of a meet and greet. If he does do a Q&A, I can't imagine he would disclose or say anything other than what he's been discussing at the FOMC or that he said publicly thus far. And if he does get the, any sort of questions, probably more of a softball type style pitch that he can just hit out of the park. So let's see, but that's not until right at the close. Like he comes on at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? So we'll see. But my plan for tomorrow, let's take a look. Let's go down to like a 4-hour chart here. We were saying it yesterday. Somebody commented on, does the market know about the, government shutdown? Does the RSI know about the government shutdown? No, I could just spot there was RSI, right? There was RSI. So I'm getting a little more reluctant to be shorting the lows and breaking lows, right? And we got down to a major level. That's when you look for longs, right? And if you took that trade today, if you're with the Wolves took it, right? Just netted a lot very quickly, right? Netted a lot very quickly. So, it's not necessarily about being right, or it's not necessarily about the news. It's just necessarily about playing the chart in front of you, right? Just play the chart in front of you guys and you'll be okay, right? You'll be just fine, I promise. But we could see here, right? We could see multiple lows, multiple lower lows, and we're making higher lows on the RSI on these higher time frames, right? A little bit oversold. I think probably the daily chart. Oh, daily chart probably dipped a little bit into this oversold territory. I mean, last time it did it was back here when it bottomed out, right? When it bottomed out here on this was a CPI print where we went down and we wrote it all the way back up. Last time we got oversold to the blue over here, long time ago, probably a year ago or two now ago, more than a year ago, actually about a year ago. We had bottomed out. So anytime we get extreme RSI on the daily on the indices, we always are expecting to see likely an area of a bottoming pattern to be forming, right? Just to be forming. It doesn't mean you just, market opens, you fucking take calls at open because there's some crazy guy on the internet that cusses a lot, told you to do it. No, absolutely not, right? But we could spot it here. So tomorrow, I like this 4,300 to 4,305. Granted, we dipped a little bit below, but I'm looking for this range to see if we get a true break of structure, make a higher low tomorrow here, right? We had a huge move higher, So we cleared that 4,305, which was that little bit of a breakdown zone. So we want to see if any dips into that 4,300 to 4,305 hold tomorrow. Right, hold tomorrow. That would make sense. I'll be looking for dips to hold, or we need to take out 43.35 to the upside. One of the two needs to happen to show a break of structure. That's a higher low or that's a higher high, right? And we could show we get this relief bounce underway over 43.35, 43.50. Remember, that was the top of that gap from a while ago, the contract roll gap. So that would be a major breakdown zone. So retesting there is going to be a big level. Initially, I think we could get a little bit of a reject, but ultimately, if this relief bounce has any legs, likely gets through there, takes you up to 43.67, 44, 44.85, 4,400. after that. Those are the levels I'll be watching. I think this 4,400 would be a major level. If we get up there rather quickly, I'd probably be looking for a short. Woo, excuse me. Pardon me. So that's what we're watching. See if we get any dips, see if we get a higher high to hold. I wouldn't be interested in going really short unless we get up to a major resistance. I wouldn't be interested in shorting down here unless we are underneath the weekly low, this week's low, right? With that even being said, 42.65 is a big level to the downside we want to watch for a bounce as well. But I think dips into 4,300, 4,305 area, we can see if we're going to hold, right? Take out 43.35 to the upside, 43.50, 43.67, 44, excuse me, 43.85, 4,400 from there. SPY is going to be pretty much the same here, right? SPY is going to be pretty much the same. Remember this old gap fill that we got? Everybody wanted it. You got it. Dipped a little bit below, took a little more liquidity with it, and then bounced it back on up, right? So now, right? Oh, we can move this, right? Where do you do that? Activate drawing. That's the button I'm looking for. Got to come down and put this right here. Yesterday low today. It's a little bit lower now, right? This pre-market high, this 428. It's gonna be all about this 420. It's pretty much where we went up and rejected again through 428. Through 428. It's gonna be a big level. That's like 43.30. It's like 43.30 on ES, right? 43.35. I'm gonna be watching 428 break to the upside. If not, let's see if we get some dips back down into this 425.26 level in here to hold tomorrow. Break and hold 428 to the upside, opens up 429. 431. Okay, 432.50, 434. We know the gap fill up is a big gap fill up to 438.50. Now, that's if we get a huge relief rally underway, right? Not interested in really getting short unless we're under 422. We know, looking on a daily chart here, we do have some room if we are going to get short underneath the weekly lows such far, right? We do have some room all the way down here to about 416, right? Just looking at this full body candle here, I think it would fill most of this by the bottom of that little balance zone over here. But I'm thinking 418.61 likely is going to be a bounce candidate. 200 MA market typically respects, but I think what could typically happen here is we see this kind of hammer that formed, some good volume that has supported it. We could see a trip back up to a major breakdown zone, maybe even up here right to that gap fill. And then we could see a trip back down, maybe a little liquidity grab under lows, give some time for this 200 MA to get up to this 420 spot. We could see a double bottom formation bounce there. Now, I'm just speaking out of my ass. Anything can obviously happen, but just knowing market structure, right, you could see, right, we have a dip down, dip higher, right, go down, higher, lower, right? Just a market, nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. So I'm just saying, if we can get through these major levels to the upside, what could possibly happen is come down and revisit this 200 MA later on. Doesn't have to be tomorrow, doesn't have to be next week, doesn't have to be 3 weeks, and doesn't have to be whenever. It doesn't have to be whenever. But as for tomorrow, right? As for tomorrow, I'm gonna be watching this 425, 426 area for the bounce zone, right? To stay longs. 428 break and hold opens up 429. Call it 429.50, but 429 really takes us up to 431, 432.50, 434, 436 opens the gap to 438. QQQ. What is going on in tech world? Okay, let's activate this drawing here. Let's get it down to where we need it to be. Boom. Okay, yesterday low of the day. You can see it right there. Nice move back, and we got through the day's high. So the daily candle, right? Day's candle, we bounced right where we needed to bounce and hold, get back above 354. That was big. That was big for the bull side. They needed that decent volume, right? Decent volume and a big hammer. So what does that mean? A hammer, guys, just simplified trading. What is a hammer candle? Hammer candle is basically every single candle on a time frame is just a battle between buyers and sellers, right? Simplify it. So sellers, they took us down and buyers rushed it right back up. Who has the upper hand strength here? It looks like the buyers have woken up. They were asleep at the goddamn wheel from about 378, right? All the way down. But look, did we wake up? We've got some buying pressure here. We have some buyers that have awakened, right? So big levels to the upside here on QQQ. Got to make it through. I'd call it this high here, 357, right? I'm going to take this off here. I'm just going to remove it. We'll put the daily high in there, but we know 357.50 was kind of this breakdown zone. We went right back to it. So call it 357 breaks to the upside would pretty much open up 360. I mean, lots of room to the upside above 357. 357.50, we could see this was the high from 2 days ago now. So above 357.50, 360, 362 holds the keys to the gap fill up to 364.65 area, right? Area looking for dips into this 354 to hold for tomorrow, right? 354.55 zone. Guys, these are areas of interest. Nothing will ever be down to the penny, I promised. Okay, that's QQQ. If that can get some legs, we can have some fun tomorrow to the upside. IWM did exactly what it needed to do. It went and held yesterday's low. Right, IWM did not make a new low yesterday, a new low today. Interesting, right? Interesting. So we have small caps, right? Small caps that have some strength. What is that saying? Is that a risk on metric? They're buying small caps. It's likely that they're going to be buying large caps, right? Because it's risk on. Okay, didn't make a new low. That's a bullish. That's a change of structure, right? Did not make a new high, but if we can get through 177, we get through 177. We'll take this old level out of here. We'll put the new one in here for you guys just so you can see. This 177 area, you're really going to want to see if we can break and hold that to the upside. Okay, which would pretty much open up 178, 179. There's a lot of levels scattered within here, but I think the big level you're going to want to pay attention to is the gap fill, right? Is the gap fill here at 179. 179 takes the gap all the way back up to about 180 from here. That's going to be the big level. So as long as any dips above 175 tomorrow hold, you don't want to watch 177 getting taken out. I think that takes us right to about 179 gap to 180. If we get underneath, right? If we get underneath the weekly low here, you could take the shorts down to the bottom of that old balance zone. If we zoom out and look left, we could see it over here. This is the 4 hour. So we need to go to like this, right? You guys could see this 172.50 bounce zone we've been talking about for some time. Bottom of the bounce is all the way down to about 170. But as far as tomorrow's concerned, I think we can hold any dips into about 175. I'd be looking upside over 177, takes us to that gap at 179, 180 above there. And guys, that's all I got for you. Lots of big pre-market data tomorrow. I need to pay attention to that. GDP, jobless claims, PAL at 4 p.m., and a slew of data on Friday with mixed sprinkled in Fed speakers tomorrow. So careful for those knuckleheads. They're going to throw the headline bombs out because they think they are relevant, and they are irrelevant. Guys, the only thing that matters is if you wake up early, get your levels right, and of course, don't do anything fucking stupid. We'll see you bright and early. Peace.